So, today's video, I am taking my first dip into the Harbor Freight Icon brand. Some of you might be surprised. I have a lot of tools, hand tools, and I just haven't needed anything. And I was strolling through there the other day, and I saw some things that caught my eye, some things that I'm going to replace one of them. And so I just bought a selection of things that I saw on the shelf that looked interesting. It's no secret, Icon brand, Harbor Freight, Princess Auto. I think if you're up there in Canada, I think. I mean they're taking a run at the big tool companies. Snap-on would probably be the biggest. They're going after Knipex, brands like that. My personal opinion is that the tool industry, they're all scumbags, and they're ripping each other off constantly. So as long as it results in a decent tool at a more affordable price for us here technicians, I don't give a crap what they do. The only time it bugs me is when you get like a big tool company knocking off a upstart company's innovative idea and underselling them and putting them out of business. That bugs me a bit. But yeah, aside from that, let the snakes fight it out in the pit as far as I'm concerned. Now, my personal opinion on Harbor Freight is, I don't know. I just don't like the way they do business. I don't like when companies take rebranded Chinese stuff, put it in a different package, slap an American or an English sounding name on it just to sell the product. Like, we don't know that it says made in China on the back of it. A lot of their stuff, like their pullers and things like that, you could just take a look at them real close. You can go on Amazon, and usually for half the price you could get the same exact thing in the same case with a different color, again for half the price. But yeah, so this Icon brand, this is kind of their flagship deal, and this is the one they were doing. Apparently their warranty has gotten a lot better over there. I've heard people walking in. Probably a few years back, I had a tool that I bought there, and the guy, it was like lifetime warranty, and I go in with the tool, and he's like, well, you need a receipt to exchange it. And I said, I bought the thing 9 months ago. You know what I mean? I don't keep receipts that long. And he's like, that's the best I could do. But now, as far as what I'm hearing, you can walk into Harbor Freight with the tool. If it's broken, they swap it, kind of like the old days when you were going into Sears and doing the same thing with their Craftsman tools. So I got, like I said, just a couple things that I was looking at. Some of them were just interesting, and some of them I actually needed. I got these here. I'll put the model numbers down in the description so you can find them if you're looking online for them. But got these here pliers. They look a little different than your standard pliers, so we'll compare those to what I would consider more of a standard style pliers. Then we got these here angle cutters. I actually, is why I went, because I needed these. I lost my other set, and I picked these up. And last but not least, and the pliers and the angle cutters is their typical designed in America, manufactured in Taiwan. Is that supposed to make me feel better? I don't know. Taiwanese people can't make tools, or make tools that are very similar to other people's tools. Then I got these here wire strippers, and the reason I look at these because they're stripping from a different angle, and I want to see if that's any better than the old style wire strippers. And these particular ones are actually made in the USA down here with the American flag. So yeah, let's flip the camera down. I got some stuff to compare them to. We'll take a good look at them. So here we go. These are all three of them, kind of lined up next to each other. Two Taiwan ones and the American-made ones. Obviously, the packaging is made in a different country because you can see the glare coming off of the American ones. A little bit of sheen on the packaging there. Not a big deal, but let's start off with the flush cut pliers right here, which is what actually made me want to go there and pick these up. Gotta cut these guys out of the package. Now, with flush cut pliers, they're basically just angle cutters, but they got a more refined edge on them. and we'll get into why that's important. They come with this here cover on the end of them, so I guess you could keep that if you're worried about it poking a hole through your bag. But yeah, they kind of got a little cover on the end of them to keep the sharp bit. It's not really that sharp. Okay, I don't think we need that anymore. But yeah, so as you can kind of see here, it's got a nice ground down edge, so you have a nice cutting surface. For me personally, I wonder if that's supposed to be like that with that little hole in there. I'm not sure. I would kind of think that would be broken, but who knows? There isn't a fastener in there, is there? Hold on, let me look. No, it's just a hole. Not a big deal, just kind of surprised me. But what I personally use these for is just cutting wire ties flush, because, you know, we live in a society, and it's not all about me. It's about the next guy who comes down their line. When I look at something that somebody worked on, if they leave the wire ties just like this and don't cut them off, I'm assuming they're lazy. If they cut them kind of haphazardly like this, I'm assuming that they're a sadist, because anyone who's ever reached inside and gotten one of these on the arm, yeah, it's annoying, it hurts, and makes it look like you've been fighting cats all your life. But let's flip this over so you kind of get a better view here. Yeah, that's better, black on green. Yeah, so basically what you're looking for with these guys, or at least what I'm looking for with them, is when you cut that wire tie off, whether or not you have a sharp edge on there. And I would honestly say that that is as flush cuts need to be. Yeah, very nice. I would almost even say that it kind of went below the surface there. Now let's switch back to dark mode. I got some wire that I picked up at the shop. It's just crap that we have on a spool for when we gotta install some electronics that a customer has requested, and it's cheap PVC, thick stranded. This is like worst case scenario as far as wires go and cutting. And what I'm looking for here is if it actually cuts it or if it actually is crushing it. And as far as I can see, it seems like it's actually cutting it. When you get the ones that are dull, or if the jaws get misaligned, it won't cut it. It'll actually crush it and then just kind of squeeze it out. And for this, it isn't that big of a deal, but it is something to keep in consideration. And the oil is starting to come out of the end of these. Another thing I'm just noticing here. As far as the hinge goes on it, yeah, the hinge is solid. I can't feel any wobble in it. I will say I do like these fatter handles. They're kind of nice in the hand. A little less diggy as far as the last ones I had, and I'm thinking this is being highly inspired by the new snap-on pliers that are coming out. But yeah, not bad. Now moving on to these here little fast adjust push button slip joint pliers. Like I said, this is a new take, or a new looking take on pliers. Kind of reminds me of Knipex, is where we're coming from here. Opening a little lackluster on the thing there. How does this actually work? Oh, look at that. Yeah, they go up and down. All right, that kind of makes sense there. So that'd be your widest, and that would be your narrowest. I will say these would be your standard slip joint adjustable pliers. These particular ones are Snap-on 47 ACP. I've had these 100 years. I got these with a set of pliers way back in the day. Side by each, handle width is about the same. We're definitely got a lot larger mouth on these. Like I said, we're not comparing A-B, but I mean, I would think that these kind of would be in the same category. You go full wide with those. I mean, let's go actual realistic width as far as in the hand goes. Put those there. And those there. I mean, yeah, the opening on them, very similar. You're slipping these into the next joint. You're definitely getting a little bit wider. I will say if I'm going that big, I'm going to get a different set of pliers, the regular slip joint pliers. But yeah, side by side, not bad. Snap-on ones are old, so they got a little bit of play in them. These ones, they do have a little bit of play in them, but nothing too bad. I can't really fault them for that. I mean, they need to be loose so you can kind of move the adjusting around. And again, 1, 2, and 3 adjustments. As far as the jaws go, they kind of got a neat little different. I mean, they got the serrations here for if you are grabbing something from this end. So you got those serrations on that, and then it's got kind of a more of a pipe wrench type teeth on it. A little bit more aggressive down here, and they kind of go a little finer up here. But yeah, out of the package, I don't think they're that. I can't see there being anything wrong with these. Did I just? Oh, there we go. Yeah, you got a little hole here for if you're trying to grab something really small. Jaw alignment coming out of the box leaves a little to be desired, as you can see here. I mean, you can line them up once you get them, but they kind of want to go offset right out of the box. But yeah, not too bad. Now with this handle design, I mean, you can obviously see a little bit of a difference. These kind of go in, and these kind of go on the outside there. And I'm thinking with these, you're probably going to be able to put these into, you know, the old dark hole and get a little bit more opening in them as compared to the more traditional ones. Kind of harkening back to these here Milwaukee style, or these Milwaukee deep reach needle nose, kind of that whole thing where you're pushing the angle of the handle in to give you the deeper reach. And just for experiment reasons, I got myself an old snap-on ball joint tuning fork here. Kind of wondering which ones are actually going to bite better on it. It's hardened steel. Not very scientific, but in the hand, I'll kind of see if I can get a feeling for who's grabbing better. I mean, the icons are definitely spinning with the snap-on jaws. Let's switch hands. Come over here. Yeah. Yeah, so it's not a grip thing. The icons do grab a little bit harder onto this than the old snap-ons. Now, last but not least, these are the ones that kind of caught my eye as something different, and that's these here 90-degree offset wire strippers. And black isn't showing up, so let's go back to green. Yeah, I mean, like I said, let me grab another set. These are my Milwaukee ones that I've been using for a while. These are like 6-in-1 or some crap like that. So let's go back over here to the crappy wire and show you the traditional way of cutting or stripping off a wire would be, you know, you kind of go like this, and then you kind of get your thumb behind it. Like I said, I got the crappy wire just to show you how bad it could be. And yeah, I mean, sometimes if you're patching a harness and you're deep inside there, you don't have the access for all of this hand action going down inside of it. Where when I kind of looked at these guys, I was like, hey, that might solve a problem for me. Looking at these, you got a little loophole down here, which allows you, if you're working with solid wire, to kind of hook it in there and give yourself a little loop. I guess that's a nice suggestion. You got the old 632 and 832 bolt cutters there for you electricians. Little locking mechanism, which is a total piece of crap. I mean, they couldn't even bother to fucking. I'm gonna have to bleep that out. They couldn't even bother to take the burrs off the edge of it. As far as all three of them go, these made in America ones are probably the cheapest feeling. I'm sorry, guys. I'm being brutally honest here. They're the cheapest feeling ones out of all three of them. Yeah, the handles, they are cutters, so they should be tight, and they do have a little teeny bit of play in them. The cutting head on them, I guess the way it works is is that all a cutting head? No, it isn't. These are they just strippers? No, the cutter would be in the middle here. Again, we're doing this on the fly. Cutter wise, not too bad. The angle on them is a little tight. Already starting to blow off the finish on them. And as far as the strippers go, which is what I kind of thought might be cool about these, if I get the right wire size here, stripper wise, nope, that ain't it either. We go to the smallest size here. And that action is better. I can honestly say that. As far as stripping wires, better than the more traditional one. Is kind of, you're kind of in here, and you can really get a nice grip on them. That ain't bad at all. I'm just imagining myself in a tight area trying to strip this crappy wire, and that worked pretty good. So, yeah, not horrible, not good. A more refined version of this would be nice. But, yeah, as far as that goes, I mean, decent enough. I'll throw them in the bag and use them for a while. So, there you go. I guess in closing, we'll just say people ask me what brand tool I should buy, and my answer always is the nicest tool you can afford. And financing or paying on a credit on a Snap-on truck isn't being able to afford a tool. I'm sorry. A lot of guys, they're bragging about how they're saving all this money not going to college, and but they're spending $500 a month on the Snap-on truck out of pocket, and yeah, it just doesn't make much sense to me. And I'm not ragging on Snap-on. Snap-on makes very, very nice tools, but you don't always need the very nicest tool, especially if it's a tool maybe you only use once or twice a year. Why would you, why would you need a $700 wrench set if you're only going to use one wrench out of that set? And like I said, just be wise on how you buy tools. There's no debt will choke you, and you don't need to be in debt. Spend your money on other things. I mean, you say $500 a month you're giving to the Snap-on guy. I mean, that's a car payment, or that's all your utilities paid for the month, or money you could put in a savings account so you could actually afford a house one day if you're lucky. They keep going up in price. You never know. But yeah, like I said, this is just old man stuff that I've picked up over the years. Take my advice or not. I didn't take the old man's advice when I was young, so so like I said, I'm just throwing that out there for you guys. And I mean, a lot of these too with these tool trucks. Even Snap-on, they're just rebranding tools. I mean, you could do a little bit of research and find out who they're buying the tool from. A lot of the times, even Icon's rebranding tools. Harbor Freight, you go in Harbor Freight, most of their tools you could find who's making them and get them off of Amazon for a quarter of the price. Nick over there at Jersey Discount Tools, he does that a lot. He'll find out who's making Snap-on's such and such tool, and he'll just go straight to the manufacturer, buy it off of them, and sell it to you at half the price, or a third of the price, or a quarter of the price, because those tools are really inflated. But yeah, I am not a part of any tribe as far as any of these tool brands go. They're all out here to make the cheapest tool possible and charge you as much as possible for it. And yeah, I'm not in that tribe. I'm in the let's get what works and save as much money as possible and spend our money on other things aside from tools. That's just how my mindset is. But yeah, so I think what we will do is put the item number or part number, whatever the hell it is called, for these down in the description. I am not sponsored by Harbor Freight. There will be no links. I don't want to be sponsored by Harbor Freight. Sponsored by you guys who watch my videos. But yeah, I'll put the item numbers down here if you're interested in any of these, kind of make it easy for you to find. And any questions, comments, concerns, just leave them down in the old comment section. I will do my best to get back to you. And I think that's another video in the bag. I'd like to thank you for watching. There you go.